I love this C5 Corvette, but there are a few things that just really aggravate me about it. And one of those things is this really dated shifter knob. Even though this car began production in 1997, this shifter knob looks like something out of the 80s, and I'm ready to do something about it. I realize that it's an automatic, and you know, automatics aren't really known for cool shifter knobs, but the fact of the matter is, I need a shifter knob that has an electronic switch for the line lock that we're going to be installing in another video. So I have found a product on eBay that is going to allow me, or any of you who want to do the same thing, to adapt a manual shifter knob onto this automatic shifter. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Bad Luck Garage. I just want to take a second and say, if you like this video and you want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell. And if you really like this video or think someone else could use it, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it too. And now, on with the show. So in the past, if you had an automatic in your vehicle, especially in your Corvette in this case, and you didn't like the shifter knob, you were kind of limited on what you could do about that. There are a few companies that make custom shifter knobs. Most of them are really high priced, and to be honest, I don't like many of those either. So I got on eBay looking around and found this. This is an adapter that allows us to convert the automatic shifter in our C5 Corvette to use a manual shifter knob. This is what it comes with. It uses a 16 by 1.5 thread, which is the thread pitch, I believe, for a stock Camaro or Corvette manual shifter knob, but you can buy other shifter knobs with that thread pitch. But it comes with this sleeve that fits over, and using two Allen head bolts or Allen head screws, and they do provide an Allen head wrench in case you don't have one. You're able to slide this over and connect it onto the the little collar that comes up that operates the push button on your current shifter. You'll have this spring that goes underneath on the shifter, then this goes on, and then you'll have a collar here to hide the top of your shift boot. And when you have your shifter knob on here, now instead of having a button to push down to shift, you'll just push the whole knob down and it will activate the button. Now, while the way it looks is part of the reason that I'm doing this, the main reason that I'm doing this is because I'm going to be installing a line lock in a few videos from now, and I wanted a shifter that had the little electric button on the side to activate my line lock. I also found a solution to that on eBay. This is made by a company called Twisted Shifterz. They make all kinds of different shifter knobs, all kinds of different patterns, and links to both of these products will be in the description to this video, guys. If we open this up, we will find our shifter knob inside. We have a cool sticker, Twisted Shifterz. That's my invoice, and I guess this is the shifter itself, packaged really good. Yes, we have a locking nut for the shifter, another Twisted Shifterz business card, and yes, our shifter knob. This is the shifter knob I went with, guys. It's just a little round shifter knob, and it does have a button in the side to activate our line lock. Now, you can get these, as I've said, you can get, they've got all kinds of shifters, guys. If you go onto their eBay seller store or their website, you're going to see that they just make all kinds of different cool looking shifters. You can just get a plain knob or whatever, but I do plan on having a custom one made later on, and but for the time being, I thought the Punisher skull looked pretty cool there, so that's what I went with. All you're going to need is a small flathead screwdriver, an adjustable wrench, and the Allen wrench that comes with the adapter. So first, we're just going to turn the key forward and push the brake in so that we can pull our shifter back to first gear. The reason I say first gear is that is going to allow us to access this little pin here. Take our screwdriver, stick it in the little pin, and gently pry it out. Now with that pin out, you should be able to just slip your factory shifter knob off. I apologize, my camera was actually messing up and I missed the next step, but basically all you're going to do is you're going to pry your leather boot away from the little white strip here with your screwdriver, and you're going to find out that, you know, there's a little zip tie in there. That's what was holding your leather boot to the little plastic piece. So you can just toss that in the floorboard, move on to the next step. Just pull your leather boot down here to get it out of your way while you're working. Then you're going to take your spring, place it over this till it bottoms out. Then you're going to take your adapter, and you'll notice there's a slot on either side of this, okay? You want to line up your 2 Allen screws with those slots, because what's going to happen is once you put this on here, you're going to tighten these screws up until those screws are holding the adapter to this rod here. So make sure you got that lined up and slip it over. Okay, well in our case, this adapter does not slide down far enough over this to be able to engage the rod. So it looks like we're going to have to do a slight modification to this and drill it out a little bit. This is where things get kind of annoying. I have a 1/2 inch drill bit here, and it turns out what's going on is the hole, it's not that it's not wide enough, it's that it's not deep enough. So it's not allowing this to go down far enough to engage the locking mechanism on the shifter. It only lacks about, I don't know, less than a 1/2 inch. So basically what has to happen is I have to take this 1/2 inch drill bit and bore this hole out about another 1/2 inch. Now as I was drilling this out, I actually brought it out here to the car because I didn't want to take off too much material, guys. So I brought it out here and I would just drill a little bit, then, you know, check it to see if I could get it out of gear and so forth. And I finally got it to a point where it not only goes out of gear when I push it down, but it does it smoothly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slide our spring on. Make sure your boot's got plenty of clearance here, guys. And you can shove your spring all the way down to these little posts here. Now your shift rod here, your shifter release rod, it is spring loaded too, but you know, once you get the weight of a shifter knob, whatever shifter knob you decide to put on it on there, you know, that spring is just going to give you a little extra help. Again, being careful to align the Allen screws with these slots on the front and back of the shifter. We're going to slide that down on there. And if you push down, you can feel when the top of the button is actually hidden inside here. And that's where you want to tighten it up, right there, right before it actually starts pushing on this rod here. That way your shifter's not, you know, way up here somewhere. So I'm going to put it down like this, and I'm going to use my Allen wrench to tighten the front and back screws. Working just like it should. I'm going to pull our shifter boot up. You get your boot pulled up around the top here. We're going to take our collar and take our screwdriver again and try to tuck the boot into the collar. Okay, so that was a little time consuming, but we got it done. And check it out, guys. So here's our adapter completely installed. You can see you push down to shift, so I'll just put my foot on the brake, push down, and you can see it goes through all the gears just fine. Locks right there in neutral so it won't go into reverse. All right, so the adapter is on. All right, guys, and we have just discovered that either the shifter knob or the adapter here, one of the two is not what they claim to be. The shift knob will not screw on, and neither will the jam nut. So I actually had forced the shifter knob on that far a while ago, so it's kind of like redone the threads on there a little bit. But yeah, one of these two things is not what it claims to be. It is not tapped or dyed correctly. All right, guys, so this is Bad Luck Garage, not I Quit Garage. So being that this was custom made, I had a feeling it probably had the right threads on it. So what I did is I took our little adapter here and I decided just to find out if maybe it was the anodization or something on the threads that was holding it back. So I took it over to my bench grinder and took my the wire brush wheel, and I cleaned all the anodization off of it. Once I did that, I still wasn't able to get the knob all the way on, but I was able to get it on a lot further. So what I did is I took the jam nut, I held this by here with a pair of vice grips, and I just took my 19mm socket here, and I kept running the jam nut on and off over and over again, and finally I got to where I could just screw the knob on. So we're good on this. I just touched up all the scuffs with a Sharpie, no big deal there. Now, one thing I would like to say is, okay, guys, now obviously, you know, this is a Chinese part. It's a China vet. Yeah, I'm having to do a lot of work to make this fit, but at least I'm showing you what's going to be necessary if you buy one of these. They're $16. There's another company that makes these, but they're like $50. So, you know, if you don't want to do the work, spend 50 bucks. If you don't mind piddling with it a little bit, then $16. One final problem I have is it seems like the set screws that go in here are a little too short. Like, I feel like I'm running them all the way through to make the connection on the shifter. So I went to Lowe's. I got two different sizes of other set screws here, and they don't seem to be the same thread pitch. They're the same size but not the same thread pitch. So I have no idea what size these set screws are. At some later point I may actually just force a tap, because I do have a tap set, so I might force a tap of this size through here to hold this more securely. But for now, I want to finish this video, so we're gonna go put this bad boy on. All right, guys, I apologize that it's dark now, but you know, we had to make some modifications. But after following the procedures I showed you earlier in the video, here we are. You can see it works just like it should. I'm in park, push down, go to reverse. If I don't push down, it's locked, so you got to push down, go reverse, or you know, whatever, just like the factory button on the shifter worked. And now I've got my little switch here, and if you're wondering about this wire, you're gonna have to wait for another video for that, because I don't want to take the console apart right now when I'm gonna have to take it apart. You know, I'd have to take it apart again to do the line lock to hook all this up. So what I'm gonna end up doing is probably putting a little slit in the boot right here and running this wire down, and in the line lock video we'll get that taken care of. All right, guys, so as you can see, things don't always work out as planned, but if you persevere you can figure out a way to make anything work. When you buy Chinese parts, sometimes stuff like this happens, so you got to kind of be ready for it. You know, I try not to get too bent out of shape when a cheap ass part doesn't work, because, well, it's a cheap ass part. I do hope this video helped you out if this is something that you're looking to do. So if it did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. Share this video with a friend. Get out in the garage, get something done, and I'll see you next time here on Bad Luck Garage.